Today we are back again with a product from Miliboo, and this time we are looking at the product film and television broadcast video tripod. Whoa, that is a long name. I have used this product or this tripod for a long time testing it, and now it's finally time to do the review part of this product. This product or this tripod is a big production setup with a huge camera on top, and looking back at the decision with the supplier at that time, this tripod is way too big for me. Today I decided to go outside to do a little bit different test, also to get all the tripod in the view. But back to the tripod. The tripod legs are the model M8T, made from carbon fiber. So they are super strong and super lightweight, and it has a total weight of 60 kilograms, including this big fluid head, which we'll come back to later. The total system has a load capacity of 18 kilograms, and that can be compressed to a height of 46 centimeters and expand all the way up to 177 centimeters, which is super tall for a combined version. The legs are really strong, and on each end of the leg we have two clamps that is used to adjust the height of the tripod. And on the bottom of each leg there is also a rubber feet which can be changed into a spike. All the legs can be adjusted to spread out and lower the tripod even more. And I haven't seen this kind of a mechanism before, but you simply pull this one out, adjust the leg, and then press it in again. I would say it is super strong and it will not go anywhere, but it is also a little hard to get your hands around and pull out. Putting in, back in is no problem. The bowl size of this tripod is 100 millimeters around here, which leads me to the correspondence fluid head. The fluid head is massive, but it's also used for broadcasting. It has different features like leveling function by adjusting this handle down below. You also have a dial of 1 to 10 right here to change the smoothness and also of the vertical panning of this fluid head, but also how fast it will return back to zero again. A very important thing to mention with this tripod is that the Manfrotto 501 plate, normally used on tripods, is not the one you use on this one. This is much bigger, and keep that in mind when you want to switch from different tripods or from other rigs, or maybe even over to a gimbal or something. On each side of the fluid head there can be mounted this arm, and this arm is actually super cool because it has a nice feature that you can just adjust here, and then you can change the length of this arm. This is a super cool feature. I also received this M3T fluid head because I wanted to switch out this M8 if it was too big and if it was a too heavy setup, and I wanted to use something a little lighter and smaller. And as you can see, there is a huge difference on these two fluid heads. And it actually turned out that the M3T fluid head right here has a base, a bowl base of 75 millimeters in size, which does not fit together with the legs we have right here. So recently I had a small shoot where I got it to work, also because this is using the normal Manfrotto 501 style plate. So I got it to work, but it didn't work perfectly, not at all. Therefore I started researching how could I find something that can maybe solve my issue. And after a long time of research and orders returned, and I finally found an adapter that can go from a 100 millimeter tripod bowl to a 75 millimeter fluid head. And this works perfectly. This metal ring easily converts my tripod legs to fit with a smaller fluid head. And now I have a very light setup. The motion of this fluid head on this one actually also turned out to be very smooth, and it's also much lighter. On each side of this fluid head there is a knob. One is simply for damping and the other one is for locking this motion. And when we are looking at travel or transportation, everything is delivered in this super big and nice carrying case. You can literally have everything in here. I just had a shoot where I had the tripod in here, but also had different light stands, accessories, and much more. So it is very big and can easily have a lot of other things for you. All in all, I am very pleased by this tripod, but the broadcast version is simply too big for me. So with this 75mm to 100mm adapter, I really get a good fluid head and some very nice and solid tripod feet or legs that is also in carbon fiber. One thing I learned during my use with a tripod and with a bowl like this is you have to adjust everything to the ground before shooting, because if you're just a little bit off, then when you are panning, not even a full rotation, but just a little bit or a half rotation, your level will be quite off and the rotation will be twisted. I recently did that. I learned it by the hard way, so I had to fix it in post manually. Afterwards, I did a lot of panning, so that was a mess. And for all products, there are cons, and let's just look at some of them. And besides, this is too heavy for me. That's not a con of the product. It's just simply the wrong product for me. I think the quality is super high, but there are some of the adjustments that is done a little bit better in the bigger version compared to this smaller fluid head. I like the other one a little bit more. And also I would say the connection we have right here between the arm and the fluid head, I'm afraid that I'm going to damage it over time if I'm not aligning the pattern quite perfectly and then tightening everything up. So I think there are some things that could be avoided in the future, but other than that, I think the product is really nice. There are a bit about the paint. I think the paint scratches off a little bit easy, but everything else feels good for me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this and got a look into a newer or bigger tripod. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribe, give me a like button, and I will see you in the future.